After watching all those cute crocodile hatching videos, I couldn't help myself. I bought one, tiny, adorable, and full of attitude. But first, I had to set up a proper tank. Since it's a swamp-style setup, of course there's water and rocks. For the background, I kept it simple, sprayed black foam over white board, then quickly added some branches and dirt before it dried. Gotta keep it wild looking.
Khoan quen bên góc phố, tay latte khói bay nghiêng. Em khoác chiếc khăn cũ, cười trong gió xe chiều.
Once the background was in place, I moved on to building the dry area of the tank, the part that stays above water, where my tiny crocodile can stretch out and bask under the heat lamp. I mean, yeah, it's not actual sunlight, but he doesn't know that. To make it feel a little more natural, I added a few rocks here and there, and of course, a big chunky log, you know, for that dramatic, wild jungle vibe. Looked pretty epic if you ask me. After that, I got to work on the swamp zone, the heart of the setup. Basically, the artificial pond. I shaped the water area to curve into the dry land, added some small stones along the edge, and made sure there was enough space for him to swim or just lurk like the tiny predator he is. The contrast between the dry and wet zones really brought the whole tank to life. It was finally starting to look like a real mini swamp kingdom. Alright, now for the best part, I finally released the baby croc into the tank. Right away, he was full of curiosity, exploring every corner like he was on a mission. He climbed all over the place, even made his way up the background and started messing with my perfectly placed decorative log. He kept climbing non-stop. Fell.
Ouch.
Got back up. And climbed again like he had unlimited energy. Total chaos. And then, karma. He slipped, lost his footing and fell straight into the water with a little splash. I couldn't stop laughing. 1 second, he's king of the mountain, next second, he's just a soggy lizard in a swamp. Then, out of nowhere, he decided to look for a way out underwater. I don't know if he was stressed or just curious, but he kept swimming straight into the glass wall like he thought it would magically open. His tiny limbs were flailing non-stop, paddling hard like he was on some great escape mission. And he didn't even get bored of it, just kept doing it over and over, like, hey buddy, that's solid glass, not a secret ton. He just wouldn't stop. Again and again, he rammed his little snout into the glass, as if there had to be a way out somewhere. He twisted, turned, wiggled his whole body like a confused noodle, splashing around as if on a mission. It was actually kind of adorable to watch this tiny croc fighting an invisible barrier like he was in a spy movie. But at the same time, I couldn't help but feel bad for him. Poor guy must have been stressed out, suddenly in a strange new place, surrounded by glass walls he couldn't understand. My tiny warrior, desperately looking for a way out, still had no clue that this was home now. Sure, he's freaking out a little, but honestly, when you get a close look like this, he's kinda adorable. Don't you think? When smashing his face into the glass didn't work, he switched tactics, clever little guy. He started using his tiny limbs to push against the corners and edges, looking for any grip he could find. Then, like it was part of some master escape plan, he tried climbing up the background wall. After all that climbing and struggling, guess what? He didn't get anywhere. Poor thing was clearly exhausted. 1 second he was scrambling up like a pro mountain climber, the next, plop. He flopped over on the dry land and just fell asleep. Out cold. Not a care in the world. It was honestly the cutest thing. All that effort, just to end up snoring like a tiny dinosaur. Seeing him all sulky and defeated, I figured he deserved a little reward, you know, for all that effort. So I dropped in a nice, juicy cricket, thinking he'd snap it up in no time. I even picked the fattest one I had, just to cheer him up. But no. He turned his head, looked at it, then turned away like it didn't even exist. I mean, come on. After all that drama, he still had the nerve to be picky? What a stubborn little croc. But I get it, stress makes you lose your appetite. Still, it was kind of funny. I guess he just needed a nap more than a snack. He just kept lying there, doing nothing for hours. Total shutdown mode. So I figured, alright, time to lift his spirits a bit. I dropped in a few little fish, hoping they'd cheer him up. You know, give him something to look at, maybe even play with. They swam around like they owned the place, totally carefree. Meanwhile, my little croc just peeked at them with one eye, still half asleep. It was kinda like he was thinking, what are they doing in my tank? But hey, a bit of company never hurts, right? I just wanted him to feel like he's not alone in the swamp. The fish were surprisingly cooperative, just swimming around, minding their own business, like they were hosting a pool party or something. They seemed to be having the time of their lives. But my little croc? Not so much. Instead of joining the fun, he disappeared. Just vanished. I looked around and realized, he was hiding. Like full on, curled up in a corner kind of hiding. I guess socializing wasn't on his to-do list that day. Maybe he's shy, or maybe he just didn't want to share his swamp. Either way, the fish were vibing, and he was ghosting. At some point, I started thinking, is he actually scared of the fish? Like, more scared of them than ghosts or thunder or whatever reptiles normally fear. I even went the extra mile and added some tiny baby fish, real thoughtful touch, right? You'd think he'd be at least a little interested. But nope. He just sat there, acting like a moody celebrity refusing to acknowledge the paparazzi. Honestly, he might be the world's first diva crocodile. Too cool for school, or too scared to swim. Who knows? And so, the balance in the tank found its own weird rhythm. The fish swam around happily, like they owned the place, while my shy little croc kept to himself in his quiet corner. They didn't really bother each other. No chasing, no drama. Just peaceful coexistence. I mean, sure, it's not the wild action I expected, but hey, at least they're living together in harmony. That's already a win in my book. But even with the peaceful vibe in the tank, something still wasn't right. My little croc just kept sulking in his corner, totally ignoring everything, even food. I tried offering him a nice, juicy cricket, holding it right in front of his face like, come on buddy, just one bite. But he turned his head like I'd just insulted his entire family. I wiggled it around, made it dance, even tried dropping it right in front of his mouth. Still nothing. I was starting to feel like a desperate parent begging their toddler to eat vegetables. It was honestly kind of heartbreaking. I mean, what more could I do? He had the setup, the lights, the warm dry spot, the little fishy friends, but he still looked so down. I just stood there, watching him mope, feeling completely helpless. Poor little guy. What's going on inside that tiny, prehistoric brain of yours?